Hi everyone. A little bit late, sorry about that. And sorry about the lateness of getting all the bits and pieces up there for you. Hi Heather. So I will, we got a new computer because our one started to decide it was going to die. And my brother put it together and delivered it this afternoon. So we had a little bit of a play around getting it organised, and it took a little bit longer than I thought. And then the damn thing didn't want to work. So stressed me out a little bit. So I have got a quick card for us to look at today and to make, and hopefully you've had time to get the pieces together. If not, then you can go back and have a look. I've posted them to the page so you can go and have a look and make it another time. But so it was just a double easel card, so I will flip you around and get started. So if you're there, say hi. Love to know who's watching, and I can see that there's a couple of people, but I don't know who you are, so it would be lovely to know who you were. So I'm going to flip you around. Sorry about the fumbling and the hands and all the rest of it and the reorganisation of it. So hopefully you can see that nicely. So this is the double easel card. So it stands up like so. It's kind of like a Z fold. So you would have it so that it sits like so. So when that would be what you see on the side. All right, so I've used the, I thought it was quite a good one too for using up some DSP. After I took my photo, I realised that I should have put some embellishment on it. So I've put some sparkly sequins on. So I've used the paper, this paper here. It's as you can see, I've started using it. So it's actually retired. It's from last year. It's called the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper, and I seem to have a lot of it left. So I thought I'd give that a go. Something different. I was going to go Christmassy, but I thought I'm going to send some cards out to some friends that haven't been around, haven't seen for a while. I'm also using the Forever Fern, which is the coordinating stamp set for the paper. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing that you need is your 2 pieces of card. I'm just going to move that out of my way. So we need 2 pieces of card. Our base is going to be, I've used shaded spruce today. So it is A4 basically cut in half. So 4 1/8 across the short end, and the long end is the full A4 for our base piece. So we're just going to fold that in half using, just line it up so that it's nice and straight, and then the thing keeps rolling into me, and then it's not crooked. See, this is what I said the other day. I used my trimmer so it kind of butts up against it, but that's okay. So you're going to have your base like so, nice burnished crease lines. I'm just going to put that to the side for a minute, and then the next piece that you have is your front layer piece, and this is 3 7/8 by 10.5, so it's just slightly shorter than A4. So you end up with a piece that's sort of a really good size for a sentiment. So keep hold of that. You can pop that onto some DSP or something a bit later, and decorate something else. So what you are going to need here is a scoring tool or a trimmer. Let me just move my stuff out of the way. Thought setting up the new desk would give me a bit more room, but it seems I still don't have enough. Okay, so this one we're going to score at 5. So you're going to need your arm out. So we're going to score at 5.5. So 5.5 is there. So we're just going to pop that down. Remember, not the cutting blade, not the dark one, the light one. Score at 5.5. Okay. Slightly then the longer part, 5.5, and then you're going to go down to 8 and score. So on the shorter side, you're going to have the 2 score marks. All right. So you're just going to score that. So I don't know if you can see that very well. So that's your 5.5, and then that's your 8. Let me just move this out of the way. This is still new, so it's got open stiff and moving things, so it moves everything out of the way. So I have got my 5 mark, so I'm going to fold that towards myself. So you can see that there's the top half is going to be taller or longer than the bottom half. So we're just going to burnish that line. And then we're going to fold this one back away from us so that we end up with the valley and mountain fold. All right. So just make sure I always kind of give it a really good scrunching down so that you soften those fibers so it works. It folds and holds its place. So it's going to sit like that. So essentially then what you're going to do is you've got that piece with the opening at the bottom, and then you have your first fold at the bottom also. So your open piece is going to the top, and you're going to glue this onto there like that. So you end up with a piece that looks a little bit like that. So you've got your flap here. All right. So we're just going to put some glue on there. Sorry, my phone camera keeps refocusing and making things blurry. So sorry about that. I think my hand's too close. Either that or the light isn't right for it. I still have to sort that out. Okay, so, whoops. So I've just folded it all up together so that it's actually probably be easier to fold it in half like that. Then I can see better. So just centering that onto your base and making sure that where your folded bit is where your opening is for your card base at the back. All right. So we're just going to push that down so that it's nice and like that. All right. So then you've got your two pieces. So when you open your card, it will sit on the table like that. All right. So the first thing we're going to decorate is the top half. So this is your DSP. Looks like I might have cut mine a little bit too wide, which is 3 7/8. Is it? DSP, sorry. 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, sorry. So I have not done a very good job of cutting mine. So if it's slightly off, I've got a really tiny border around the outside, so I'm going to use it anyway. So with the glue, you get a little bit more wiggle room when you put it down, just to make sure that you get it even across the page. And then the last piece of DSP is going to go on the bottom piece here. Oops, wrong one. Right, so just move that out of the way. Make sure you go to the right side. What I liked about this card too is it's so quick and easy. A couple of bits of cardstock and a couple of pieces of designer series paper and some decoration, and it's a nice quick one. You could knock out a few of these really quickly without any trouble. Alright, I don't know what that is on my paper. Okay, so you end up looking at your card like that. Okay, so again, just keep burnishing that fold there and underneath here so that it stays in place nicely. So now I'm just going to decorate it. So what I did with my other one is I used the Forever Fern And I've chosen this one here, and this stamp here. So I'm just going to stamp those and then cut some out of, I also added a piece of vellum to it just to give it a little bit of something different. And then I've used, so let me just stamp. You could actually stamp on the vellum, that would be quite cool. Right, so I'm going to stamp here. And I'm just using shaded spruce, but I'm doing it on a piece of soft seafoam, which is the matte card that I've got. So just so that it's not too stark of a difference for your decoration. One thing that's nice with this stamp set is it's what they call a distinctive stamp set. So I don't know if you can see that it looks like it's not very well stamped, but the depth of the engraving in the stamp is varied, so you get the shading, which is really effective on your stamped images. So, hi Andrea, nice to have you here. Hope it's been a lovely day where you are. It's been really wet and I got to put, it's been beautiful to washing, and then I go to put my washing out and it's out there for a few minutes, and then it starts to rain again. I have to run out to get it. Luckily we just put them on upright close areas, so they just wheel around the deck. And I can bring them in quickly. All right, so I'm just going to go and cut them. What I'm going to do is I've got the framelits here for them. I was going to bring, and I'm just going to cut this. This is the coordinating framelit. So this one here gives a little bit of something different. So I'm going to cut that out of a piece of vellum as well, and then I will be back. Actually, I might run it through here. So I can put them all in at the same time, hopefully. All right. Super sunny. That's really nice. It's a nice feeling that we're getting back into spring, isn't it? With this lovely sunny weather and stuff. It's just I haven't actually worn a cardigan for a couple of days, which has been quite nice to not have to feel like it's dreary in winter, especially still in lockdown. Okay, so I'm just running them through the cut and emboss machine. And I can get all of them cut at once, which is great. So when you're stamping your images, if you're going to be cutting them out, just make sure that you leave a little bit of space around the edge for all of them, so that you can cut them out in one lot instead of running them through several times. So it'll just be a bit of a time saver for you. Give them my bits. Alright. Okay, so here we go. Actually, just while I was pulling those out, I kind of thought, oh, a bit of Wink Stella would be really lovely on top of those, especially on the vellum. So I might do that. And get the dies out of the way so I don't miss them. Alright, so I have got my 4 elements there that I'm going to do. What I did do is I used the Elegant label punch, I think that's what it's called, to punch out my sentiment, and I did that because I stamped it in the soft seafoam. So what I decided is it kind of got a bit lost in everything there, just being on its own. So I'm going to put it on there. No. So just punch out one in soft seafoam. I always find with sentiments it's easier to line it up once you've punched it than stamping first. Usually stamping first is the better option. All right, so then I've cut one out in the shaded spruce, and just for the background, I don't need that whole piece there. So I'm just going to do another one. Alright, so I'm just going to pop that to the side for now. That's my full one. So I'm just going to stamp to a friend that makes me smile. Always nice to have. I'm just seeing the right way for it to go. Always nice to send just because sentiment or card. I've got so many cards, so I need to start sending them or giving them. Right, so because that kind of on here gets a little bit lost, especially when you have the soft seafoam in behind as well, you know, like so. I wanted to make this kind of lift off the page a little bit more than what it was. So if you punch out another one in a contrasting colour or coordinating colour or whichever how you're going to work it, and what you need to do is you need to make sure that you've got a whole one and get a pair of snips. Now I've had my paper snips for about 10 years and I don't think I've sharpened them once, and they're still really sharp. So if you're looking for a good pair of scissors, I highly recommend our scissors. The paper snips are amazing. All right, so we're going to have our pieces. We've got two pieces like this, and we're going to attach them to the back there. So we're going to use our glue. You can use tape if you want to. Again, whatever you're most comfortable with is your adhesive. Try not to get the glue too close to the edge, because that, and don't go all the way to the top either, because that, I'm going to move that out there because I keep putting my arm in the way, because otherwise you end up having glue to, all over the place and out here when you don't really want it. Okay, and then, so you've got just a little slight edge around it. You can make it as big as you want, really. So that's a little bit deeper. And then do the same with the bottom. Now, because obviously you don't have the same. If you wanted to do the sides, you could do that and just cut it through the middle there. I would then cut out the top piece and just have the extra edges on the side. Or you could do both. So you could do this bit and then have a piece out the side here, so that you've got, so it would look like that. So you could have the outside or a little bit wider. So you could just cut it across the top there and across the bottom there, and then just have it so that it pokes out, matching the side there like that. So you get the full coverage behind it. But I just want to make sure, and then when you're doing it, just make sure, which is another reason that the glue is really good, that your both ends are kind of about the same thickness of layering at the sides. All right, okay, so just pop that to the side. When I was making up my sample, I decided that it was quite busy having all of it on the front here like this, and then having the sentiment as well, and it kind of meant that there was nothing happening in the back. So what I've decided is I've put the larger of the two leaves up the top there, and I've got my vellum leaf and my sorry, got actually hand, not the good hand either, and then my other little pop flower, which is going to go there. So what I've done is I will bring these down slightly. So I've just flattened it so that you can kind of see it looks like a little bit of a bouquet, and then I can see how high this needs to be up before I put that on. Obviously you could stamp it so that you have your label going this way, but I've stamped it this way now. So going to pop them there like that, and then I can bring these ones up a little bit. And then I thought, okay, that's good. I'm going to put those on there like that. And then I thought, when I open my card, there's going to be 2 floating leaves on the background, and that doesn't kind of that doesn't look really great. So I cut off half of the top, well, cut off the top half of that label punch, which made kind of like a little pot. And so I've just popped that on there. So when you open it, it looks like there's a pot that's got the 2 leaves on it, and then when you close it, you can see a little bit of the pot, but then also you'll have the extra layers of those on there. So to get it so that it all lines up, the way that I've done it is on the back of my label. Let me just move that out of the way a minute. So on the back of my label, across the top here, which is where I want my leaves to be stuck to, I've put 2 dimensionals very close together. Then I've just put my dimensionals how I would normally to put them onto a card. The reason I've put 2 is that you will get the strength of it, even though 2 little bits of your cardstock will go onto the top of them like that. So then I take off those 2 and have a think about how you want your 2 pieces. So I want the vellum to be behind the poppy. I don't even know what kind of plant that is. My husband would be horrified. He loves plants, and I have no idea what that is. It's kind of like those string pearls, but it's going the wrong way. And then I'm going to pop the vellum behind that. So I'm just going to put it in place and then stick that in there like that. And then I can take off my extra pieces off the back of my dimensionals, bring my card in. Now I need to make sure that these pieces here are below my card. Kind of want to make sure they're centered as well. Now, because I didn't put dimensionals on the tip of my label, and so it doesn't matter what shape label you've got, if you want it to be hanging over the top, make sure you don't put dimensionals or adhesive on there. So when you open that, you'll see that that's the part that's on the front. When you put it down, you can see it bunched together. So now that that's stuck down, you can move, I'm going to move this little label out of the way, you can kind of just move them about as to where you think would be a good placement for them, in terms of looking like they're a bunch of leaves. Maybe that goes this way. Maybe that's better. And then this one behind here. Yeah, that's better. All right, so with that in mind, I then, let me just get rid of my stamp pad because I'm going to put my hand in that. Get some dimensionals, and should have put these on before I started moving things around, but that should be about right. Just kind of made that a little bit too far over. So pop that on. Before I stick them down, I'll just double check that they're in the right place. Not too. Alright. So because I haven't put anything on the stem, I'm just going to pop that up. It's going to get covered by my pot. Now, obviously, this can be decorated in any way you like. You don't have to use leaves. Flowers would be great. You could actually just leave it as the designer series paper and just decorate the front bit. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. Alright, so I'm just going to pop that there, put that there like that, and then on the back of my, because I didn't put anything on my stems, I can add some dimensionals to the top part of the pot. And then I'm just going to set that. I actually kind of want it to show a little bit there, just to give a bit of, maybe I don't want it to show. Yeah, put it down crooked. There we go. So then it looks like that's the pot, and then when you open it, it's got the pot there as well. All right, so what I've used to decorate it is I've gone back to these sequins. I found that they match really quite nicely. This is a little pale green, probably soft sea foam actually, truth be told. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we might just leave it at 5, and then we'll use some Wink of Stella. So this is Wink of Stella. It comes in, it's like a, if I can pull it apart, it's like a paintbrush, and inside it, I don't know if you can see, inside there is like a clear, really fine glitter with an ink. So I always just pop it into the lid just in case I get a bit heavy-handed and doesn't go all over my project. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's just kind of starting to drip down. I think this is getting, oh, there we go, it's starting to come down a little bit. And then as it drips, I can grab it on the brush just from the inside of the lid. So I'm just going to pop, and it just kind of, this one will, it will make your ink bleed a bit if you put it on the ink. If it does, just wipe it on a scrap piece. But it gives it a lovely shimmer, and it just kind of lifts that a little bit. And then I might put some on the vellum piece. That just gives it a bit of shimmer, and then maybe the paint pot, so that when it's standing upright, you can see a little bit of interest on there. Alright, it looks like it's going to be really wet once it dries. It's really lovely and subtle. So we could just kind of, I love Wink of Stella. It's something that I forget to use, so just having a little bit of shimmer in the background. And I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of shimmer on the stripes there. Just to give it, and then you can see on the vellum as well. So then when you open it up, then I've got quite a bit in that little spot there, but it just gives it a little bit of something. Actually, let's do some on here too. Seeing as my brush is still wet. Alright, so that is our card for tonight. So when it stands up and you're looking at it, that will be how it looks. To you, obviously, to be able to write in it, you can open it and pop a little piece inside if you like doing that, or if you like to write directly on the card, then that's totally fine too. So that's the two that I've done. So I used that same DSP, but just kind of did the lines the other way. I'm not sure which one I like better. This one needs a bit of Wink of Stella, but I won't make you sit there and do that. What I did think though is, as I came back to sit down, I thought this poppiness might annoy people, and might make it a bit annoying to get into an envelope. So this piece of card is just the full length of, it was left over from trimming down to make the insert of one piece of paper. So it's an A4 length. It's about 1/4 inch, but would make a really nice belly band. So if you wanted to put a belly band on, just don't make it too tight around the edges, and you could pop it on. You could join it at the back, would be quite nice too. That way you could have it so that it would sit like so, nice and straight, like that, and it just keeps it all together if you didn't want it to pop out too much while you're sending that to somebody. And then once they get it, they can take it off, and then obviously to open the card and then display it with your message there. All right, well, I'll leave that there, and I will, thanks Heather. Ow, got my finger jammed in the clip. That wasn't great. Now I just have to find all my bits and pieces so that I can do the spinny wheel for, let's turn that around. Thank you, Catherine. Spin that around so that you can see. I've put in the people that put in that card for the ribbon lattice fold. It was lovely to see so many. We got 5 this time, which was awesome. So I've put the 5 of you in there. How interesting. They haven't given 2. There's only 4 different colours. All right, so let's spin the wheel and see who won the prize for that. It was really cool to see a couple of Christmas cards in there as well. All right, here you go. Oh, Heidi. Yay. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, everyone, for putting in an entry into that card. It was really awesome to see the differences. Heidi, I don't know if you're watching today. If you are, let me know. And if you're not and you watch the replay, then I will get in touch with you and organise a prize. Andrea, I will also get in touch with you probably tomorrow to organise a prize to send out to you as well. Yeah, so I think that's 2 prizes for you, Andrea, that we can send. So I'll find some things that I can pop in the post for you. We are level 4, but I'm hoping that I can still get it sent to you so you don't have to wait too long. And Heidi, I can send some pictures through to you as well, and you can choose one. I'll put it in your club order so that you can pick it up when you're ready. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me, ladies. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your evening. It's just on 8 o'clock or just over 8 o'clock. And I will, how about Wednesday? We could do another card on Wednesday, if that suits everybody. And I'll find one that, another fold that we can do that's easy. And we will make that. So I will actually get that organised and post it up tomorrow so that you've got plenty of time to get it ready. And yeah, I'd love to see you on Wednesday. I will put a post with this card on my page. I'll pin it. I've figured out I can pin it to the top, so you don't have to keep scrolling through and finding the right post to put it on. So if you make a card like this, feel free to pop it on my page under the post, and then on Wednesday night I will do another prize draw. All right. I've got a few bits and pieces coming that are in a couple of orders that I'm still waiting to be delivered. So hopefully they'll arrive on Monday. So Catherine and Heidi, Andrea and Heidi, if you would like to wait to see when that arrives, I'm happy to wait for you to choose your prize. Or if you'd like me to send through some options for you, let me know, and I will get onto that tomorrow. Okay. Well, the rain has just started, really loud and really heavy. We had really horrendous thunder last night. It woke us up about 10 to 12. Well, it didn't wake us up, but gave us a hell of a fright. Actually, it woke Matt up and it woke Piper up. So, yeah, so hopefully we don't have the same again tonight. You're happy to wait? Awesome, Andrea. Thank you. I thought that the orders would have been here last week, but they're not. So it's obviously taking a little bit longer with the couriers. They're very, very busy. All right, so I'll be in touch with you ladies when those things arrive so that we can organise something to send out to you. And I will let you go and enjoy your evening. So thank you very much for joining me. Again, apologies for the late notice on the materials if you wanted to craft along, and I will see you on Wednesday night at 7:30. Okay, see you later. Bye.